A reminder coming up here at halftime. We'll ship you off to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman will have first-half highlights and analysis from a back-and-forth first half that we've seen. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in the game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Steps away to his left. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Now this time he'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And now he'll tuck it and run. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 16.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range, but boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
Here we go. 57. Mike, 57.
So after the INT, it's Breeze. And this is a catch by Ted Ginn. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number one.
Ready. Here we go. Let's go. Sammy. 57's Mike. Mike 57. All day, dog. Mike's 57. Hey, exit. Let's go, defense. Hey, man up, D. Man. Hey, easy. 57's the Mike. 57's the Mike. We ain't giving up nothing today. Hey, check it.
Breeze now on first down. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
95-56. 95-56. 3 down. Ready, tack. 12. Watch the run.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Lutz's kick is good. So a late turnover leads to a quick drive, and in turn that quick drive leads to 3 points.
So someone makes a mistake, but how about the other side learning from that mistake, taking care of the ball, and making sure they put some points on the board? Well done.
This one taken just inside the 10. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Here's the option going left on 2nd down. And he held on to it, but he probably shouldn't have as they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Ready? 5-9. Mike 57. I'm trying to collect. Check 24. Check 24. Hey, easy. 57's the mic. Watch 57.
On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Bit of a surprise. They ran it on 3rd and medium. Proved to be the right call. 1st and 10.
You ready? I'm going back to you. Bravo. 57's the mic. 57's the mic. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. 57's Mike. Mike 57.
Throwing on 1st down is Breeze. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
0-2, 0-2. 57's the mic. 57's the mic. We own it. We own it. Hey, Zoo. Check Mike 57. Mike 57. Hey, watch the ball. Watch the ball.
Breeze now to throw. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9.
Mike 57. In the face. 57. You're good. You're good. Side 4. Ready. Here we go. Here we go. 57's Mike. Mike 57. Double dog. Double dog. That's the way. Ready, catch.
Now Breeze. And he finds Cook. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Jared Cook, 41 yards. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz with the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. and try and get back.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson. It's caught by Roberts. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Lightning speed that time for the corner. Marshawn Lattimore getting the sack. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Here we go on 4th down with Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by a former first-round pick, Patrick Robinson. On 4th down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, 4th down, where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over, and when it's in the air, they just go and get it. So it's hard to get on him for intercepting it, but the smart play would have been what you suggested. Knock it down and take over in a deeper position.
And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, 51 yards. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz good on the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Lutz now to kick this one away. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Marcus Davenport, the first rounder out of UTSA with a sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson. Roberts has it. Finding room at the 30. Finally taken down at the 32-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. Jackson. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first. Jackson going to get this out to Brown. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Jackson on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
I can't believe they even let you play.
Jackson now on 2nd and 10. Now he'll pull it down. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and the nose of the football. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll run for it. It's Edwards. There he goes left side. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Gus Edwards, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Ravens cut into that lead. They go for just 1 here as it's up and good. And that will get them 1 closer. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Mike, 57. You got nothing today. You got nothing. You'll kill. 57 to Mike. 57 to Mike. Watch the slants. Bud. 57 to Mike. Mike, 57. Let's go, tight end. Let's go.
Breeze now on 1st down. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. It'll be a Saints 1st down on a pickup of 13.
For the Saints, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Hey, orbit. Here we go. 57 to Mike. 57 to Mike. Hey, they're scared. Hey, check Mike 57. Mike 57.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
D-line, get that quarterback. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column.
57 to Mike. 57 to Mike. Watch the pass. Hey, easy. Clock. 57 to Mike.
On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead. You've got to protect it. And he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Push him back. 11. 57 to Mike. 57 to Mike. Hey, easy. Hey, check Mike 57. Mike 57.
Breeze is looking to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Traquan Smith, the intended receiver. 3rd down here.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turned into a nice play.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Here we go. 57. Mike, 57. Hey, kill. Kill. Hey. High 7.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. The open man is Smith. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
57's right. Silver. 57's the mic. 57's the mic. I got you, son. Hey, easy. Opposite.
To throw is Breeze. Thomas has got it, complete. A gain of 6 there on first.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, there's the option going left. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. And the ball smacked down on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Now it's Hill. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. Here's Hill. And that one drops to the ground. Incomplete. Clock stops here just inside of 20 seconds, 19 left.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Easy, opposite. Hey, seam 6. Check. Hey, Charlie. 21.
Breeze to throw for it on 4th. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Here's Jackson. Got a man. It's Brown. Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game. One last shot for Jackson. He's going to let it fly. And this is going to be caught. So it affects the final score, not the outcome, but it is a late touchdown here on the game's final play. Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there.
Hey, watch this.
And he'll get in for the 2 points, and in so doing, cut the deficit to 2 points. Well, at least at the very end, there's something to take away. They lost the game, but got in the end zone, got a 2-point conversion as well. I don't know, though. In the end, you still lost the football game.
You still lost the game, but maybe they were just capitalizing on the flurry at the end, right? You scored the touchdown, keep the momentum going, go for 2. Maybe they're working on something for down the road. As you said, it doesn't matter. You lose the game, but you finish with a touchdown and a successful 2-point
Some
conversion.
sort of a building block.
Yeah, something.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Saints are winners here as we say so long from New Orleans.